hear that?
Wait, is it an actual hatch? No shot.
Definitely eerie at night.
Going into the woods alone at night can be downright terrifying. But what if you stumble upon something or someone you'd rather not face? Tonight, we're uncovering 6 of the most spine-chilling encounters ever caught on camera. These stories will have you thinking twice before ever setting foot in the woods alone again. Let's jump straight into the first unsettling encounter. The first video tonight comes from Echo Nesters, a solo van life travel channel documenting road trips across the American West. The creator travels in a camper van called Dirty Dolly alongside her dog, Clementine, sharing quiet camping experiences and the realities of traveling alone through remote locations. It is March 6th, 2026 in Oregon, United States, beginning near the Panther Creek area, before later moving to a truck stop along US 97, and eventually Prineville Reservoir Campground.
All these little trails. I think we're gonna go towards the creek.
Michelle arrives at a quiet, dispersed campsite in the forest near Panther Creek. Traveling alone with her dog, Clementine, she parks her camper van and begins setting up a simple evening camp. A small fire is started, food is prepared, and she briefly walks along nearby trails that lead toward the creek. At first, the location feels peaceful, surrounded by tall trees and the soft sound of water moving through the forest. But as the sun slowly dips behind the tree line, the environment begins to feel darker and more enclosed, and the quietness of the woods becomes more noticeable.
You know, once the sun starts going down, something kind of shifts out here in the woods. Not sure what it is, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to sleep too great out here. I don't know, just not feeling it. So I think we're just going to pack up. We didn't unpack too much. Shut a few things down, put the chairs away, and not sure where we're going tonight, but I don't think we're going to be sleeping here. What do you think, Clem? She'll sleep anywhere, but yeah. It's getting pretty darn chilly, and yes, I brought more wood, but I don't think I'm gonna stick around here much longer. It is pretty though, but not the vibe I'm going for when it gets dark.
Rather than ignore the feeling, Michelle decides she will not stay overnight at the campsite. She calmly explains that she probably would not sleep well there, and begins packing away the few items she had set out. Although nothing specific appears or approaches her, the combination of darkness and isolation convinces her it is safer to leave before nightfall.
I think I'll sleep much better when I hear things all night and know people are around. Versus a very quiet forest where I can't see anywhere. Let's see what's going on around me. Good night. Well, good morning. This is our morning view. What do you think, Clementine? Did you sleep good? Oh, fresh air, huh?
The following day, Michelle continues driving through Oregon, and eventually reaches a quiet campground near Prineville Reservoir. With open views and a few other campers nearby, the setting feels far less enclosed than the forest she left the night before. Looking back, the experience reinforces an important lesson for solo travelers: trusting instinct. Even though nothing dangerous occurred, the uneasy feeling in the woods was enough for her to move on and find a place where she could rest more comfortably for the night. Before we move on, if you're enjoying the video so far, leaving a like really helps. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a good time. We recently passed 50,000 subscribers, and that's entirely because of you. The next target is 100,000 before the end of the year. Ambitious, but worth aiming for. There's a hidden word somewhere in this video. See if you can spot it. Now, let's continue. The next horrifying video comes from Grizzly Gaz, a UK-based outdoor adventure and wild camping channel where the host explores remote landscapes while sharing local folklore, historical background, and personal camping experiences. It is March 9th, 2026 at Bridestones Moore, North Yorkshire, England, United Kingdom. Gaz arrives at Bridestones Moore and begins navigating the rugged terrain in search of a suitable stealth camping location. The landscape is scattered with large rock formations connected to local folklore, including the Bridestone, Housestone, and Groomstone. While exploring the area with Fendi, he observes the unusual shapes of the stones and comments on the historic atmosphere surrounding the moor. As daylight begins fading, he sets up a sheltered spot among the rocks, where he plans to spend the night.
What is that? Doesn't smell like it, please. Whatever it is. Sounds like wind chimes. Hear that? Look, 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 look. It's probably a train in distance.
Later, while resting inside his tent, Gaz begins hearing distant metallic sounds echoing across the moor. The noises resemble wind chimes or metal objects lightly striking together somewhere among the rocks. With the surrounding landscape otherwise silent, the unfamiliar sound adds an uneasy tone to the quiet environment.
Inside my tent talking.
Coaching mentally, I think it's one and mentally you just need a bit more subject, aren't you?
During the night, two women unexpectedly pass very close to his hidden campsite. Unaware that anyone is camping nearby, their voices and footsteps travel clearly across the stone landscape. The pair pass within roughly 10 feet of Gaz's tent, creating a moment of tension as he remains completely still to avoid revealing his presence.
Good morning. And I can hear that. I've been hearing like screams. It's really weird.
In the early hours of the morning, Gaz is suddenly awakened by distant screaming or shrieking sounds somewhere across the moor. The echoes travel between the rock formations, making it difficult to determine the exact direction or source of the noise. He considers whether it could be wildlife, a bird call, or possibly a person somewhere on the moor. Spending the night at Bridestones Moore proves more intense than expected. Between the strange metallic sounds, unexpected visitors passing nearby, and the eerie cries echoing across the rocks, the quiet folklore site takes on a far more mysterious atmosphere once darkness settles in. Gaz remains calm and observant throughout the night, keeping Fendi close while documenting the experience. By dawn, he packs up and leaves the site, reflecting on how even well-known historic landscapes can feel very different when experienced alone after dark. The next chilling video comes from Exploring the Unknown, a US-based exploration and adventure channel that investigates remote forests, abandoned locations, and areas rumored to contain unexplained activity. It is April 2nd, 2023, in a remote forest somewhere in the United States. The explorers enter the forest at night, using only a phone for both light and filming. Before heading deeper into the woods, they mention that friends had warned them about unusual things reported in the area. While initially skeptical, the atmosphere changes quickly as they begin noticing odd features scattered across the forest floor. Small piles of rocks and carefully arranged branches appear in patterns that do not seem naturally formed, hinting that the area may have been deliberately altered.
My mind changed completely. I didn't think that the things that were in this forest would be in this forest. I mean, there were everything from bones to weird piles of sticks that could be classified as a burn pile, but why would they be in the middle of the woods?
A sudden noise echoes through the trees, sounding similar to a distant dog bark or howl. The unexpected sound startles the group and adds tension to the already unsettling environment.
It's a hatch opening. Brian.
Exploring the unknown.
Have you ever opened it? I have.
Wait, is it an actual hatch? No shot.
While searching the area, they uncover what appears to be a hatch in the ground. Opening it reveals a small concrete tunnel beneath the forest floor. The structure suggests that some form of human activity once took place in this otherwise isolated area. Nearby, the explorers find a mound of soil that appears unnaturally smooth and shaped. Trees around the mound show unusual markings, and the disturbed ground gives the impression that the area may have been intentionally modified.
There was something reeking here for like 2 weeks every time you drove down the driveway. Just reek of death. What? Do you remember that, bro?
Curious about the mound, they lightly dig into the soil and quickly notice that the earth appears to have been previously loosened. This suggests the ground has been disturbed before, raising further questions about what may have been placed or buried there.
Yeah, they keep going. Maybe we can find the head.
That is such a good point. It's like there is no skull. Like,
Everything is all together.
Moments later, additional bones are spotted nearby in the same area. The repeated discovery reinforces the unsettling idea that the forest may conceal burial sites or remains hidden beneath the ground. After leaving the area, the explorers describe how heavy and oppressive the atmosphere felt while they were inside the forest. Once back outside the wooded area, the tension noticeably lifts. The group reflects on how the unusual rock formations, underground tunnel, disturbed soil, and discovered bones created one of the most unsettling investigations they have experienced. Whatever the history of the location may be, the forest appears to hold secrets that remain buried beneath its surface. The next shocking video comes from Lisa's Escapades, a US-based outdoor adventure and exploration channel documenting immersive wilderness trips. The channel often combines camping, hiking, wildlife encounters, and occasional cryptid investigations, capturing real-time reactions while exploring remote environments. It is February 2nd, 2026 in Ocala National Forest, Florida, United States. The group begins hiking toward Tischler Mound, retracing the route where a previous, unusual sighting reportedly occurred. As they move deeper into the forest, they discuss earlier experiences in the area, including a past encounter with what they described as a large, dark figure moving through the trees.
Just fell because he tripped over one of these palm fronds when he was running from us.
Right.
And I really believe it was a family of them. And I think he was diverting us because when I look at my footage now, I can see what looks like a female with a child, hunkered down while he's running the opposite way. But, it's hard to tell. We're coming on up to it now. We were right about here when he looked ahead and said, "There he is." Saw him running from left to right. And we're all looking, and we got all the way up to here. After he saw him.
During the hike, the campers notice a dark figure moving quickly across the forest floor. Using a GoPro camera, they attempt to capture the movement on video. In the footage, the figure appears to stumble briefly over a palm frond before continuing through the vegetation. The group comments on the figure's height and movement, speculating about what it could be. They also believe there may be smaller shapes crouched nearby, which they interpret as possible additional figures.
Interesting thing is when he ran through here, he kind of tripped, ran back that way, but in my video you can see what looks like a female and a small one right over here next to a tree, hunkered down. I don't know which tree it was now, but this is why I know it's the area, because Pam was leaning against this tree right here, and she goes, "Are you guys kidding me?" She thought we were joking. We weren't joking. That was the tree, and I know because of the way it spars out here. So it happened right here. So I want to say it was right back here is where it happened. There was a palm frond back there, and he tripped over it. I don't see the exact one now. There's a lot of deadfall from the storms, so this is where it happened, and you could see there was a palm trail on the ground where it looked like it was using this palm trail to go across to the lake right over here. And the lake's up here, I'll show it to you. But yeah, that was it.
Awesome.
And it was so fast that you just wouldn't even think about it.
And describe.
After the sighting, the group reviews the recorded footage. Slowing the video down, they trace the path where the figure moved through the forest. Broken palm fronds, disturbed leaves, and scattered debris are pointed out as possible signs that something large passed through the area. Some members suggest the movements and nearby shapes might indicate multiple figures, though no clear identification is made.
Can you see him? Here, you want to get up closer?
Here, look.
Need a light on it?
Did that help it?
No, that's not helping my photo.
It's pretty weird to see them out, how cold it is. Usually they're trying to hide. Or he's trying to hunt those guys.
Yeah, how the...
That wood beetle.
Later at their campsite, the group notices how quiet the surrounding forest becomes as night approaches. They observe signs of wildlife activity nearby including animals such as raccoons, hogs, and possibly bears. The stillness of the forest amplifies their sense of awareness while camping in the isolated wilderness.
Had something chase us out in the night one time. Man, I made the mistake of going down 9, and it was quite the ordeal off-road. I thought I just heard something. Yeah, I won't go back this area because I believe somebody's research.
While driving past the location where they previously reported being chased during an earlier visit, the group reflects on the forest's history and the strange encounters they believe have occurred in the area. The discussion blends curiosity and caution as they consider what might inhabit the dense wilderness. The expedition highlights both the natural beauty and the mystery of Ocala National Forest. Revisiting the area around Tischler Mound brings back memories of earlier unexplained experiences, while the GoPro footage of the dark figure adds another moment of intrigue to the trip. Combined with the nighttime stillness of the forest and the presence of wildlife, the experience leaves the campers with a mixture of curiosity and respect for the unknown elements that may exist within the wilderness. The next video comes from The Marty Camper, a UK-based outdoor and wild camping channel focused on solo adventures in unusual or scenic locations. The host combines bushcraft, campfire cooking, and relaxed storytelling while documenting real-time experiences in the outdoors. It is April 28, 2025 in the United Kingdom, near a historic stone folly built in 1796. The host arrives at the location and sets up camp close to the old folly structure. As evening sets in, he explores the area around the building, noting graffiti on the walls, simple seating areas nearby, and open woodland surrounding the site. The fading daylight begins to change the atmosphere, and the quiet landscape starts to feel slightly eerie as darkness approaches.
But it feels well eerie when you're inside. Look, when you look out windows, it looks spooky, doesn't it? Seat tent. Definitely eerie at night. Keep hearing noises, screaming.
With night fully settling in, the mood around the folly becomes more unsettling. Long shadows stretch across the woodland, and the host cautiously walks around the structure, commenting on how different the area feels once the light disappears.
Well, it looks eerie, does that out there, doesn't it? Finally back in tent. Can feel a bit of a breeze coming over from fields that are in front. It'd be nice to get this tent door shut and get all cosy in here. It was quite eerie out there though, and while I was filming, I thought, what's that light coming towards me? And it was this young lad. He'd set off while it was light, and obviously it got a second of me saying that. We both heard it, and then we just looked at each other, and he went, anyway, I'll see you later, mate. And we just fist bumped, and he walked off. Honestly, it'd be something to know, it'd be just kids down bottom, but...
Later, while inside his tent, he begins hearing distant screaming and rustling sounds coming from the woods below. At first, He considers whether the noises could simply be children playing somewhere in the distance. However, the sudden bursts of sound still create a tense moment as he listens carefully from inside the tent. While observing the sounds outside, a local youth briefly appears nearby carrying a torch. The two of them pause and listen together, both hearing the distant screaming echoing from deeper within the woods.
So I just laid here, chilling out, and I thought, what's that noise? Like a clicking. And then I realised it was like a bike, a chain. So I popped my head out and noticed there were some lads. They must have come up to do a little bit of wacky-backy without the parents seeing them or finding them. And I just asked them, what's them noises down bottom? Can you hear it? And they were like, oh, no, I can't hear it. But there is an homeless man down bottom. So if you refer back to one of my videos, it was a short video where I found it looked like a little cabin in woods. I thought, it's not right in this, like how's this managed to be here and no one's spotted it? Apparently it's well known that it's a homeless man that lives there. Crazy. So he could be having a party or dancing around a campfire naked, couldn't he? He could be doing out.
Eventually, the host discovers the likely source of the noises. The sounds appear to be coming from local teenagers and a homeless man known to stay somewhere in the surrounding area. Once the explanation becomes clear, the earlier fear fades, although the unpredictability of the situation still leaves the night feeling slightly tense. The overnight camp becomes a mix of suspense and curiosity. By morning, the cold and damp conditions give way to scenic views of the surrounding countryside. The host reflects on how moments like these highlight the unpredictable nature of solo wild camping, where quiet historical locations can quickly turn into memorable adventures after dark. Before we get into the next clip, around 70% of people watching aren't subscribed. We're working toward 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and if you're enjoying the video, hitting subscribe really does help. All right, let's get back to it. The last video of the night comes from Rachel and Tommy, a US-based adventure and paranormal exploration channel that investigates remote forests and rural locations. It is April 7th, 2025, at a remote wooded property in the United States, surrounded by forest trails and open clearings, far from nearby houses. Rachel and Tommy arrive at the secluded property in the evening and park near a small shop building and driveway area. Almost immediately after settling in, they begin hearing repeated impacts striking the back of the building. While trying to determine the source, they mention previous unusual experiences reported in the same area and start observing the surrounding woods more carefully.
Stand here this is literally how long I was standing right here. I'd been leaning up against this. He walked out, looked at me, turned around and looked at me real sad. And I said, get out of here. He limped over here behind the tractor. After yelling, I stood here this long.
The impacts continue, despite no visible person or animal near the building. At the same time, a strong odor similar to that of a skunk begins drifting through the area. In the distance, a dog can be heard yelping somewhere in the forest, even though there are no houses or farms nearby.
Here, and I had my soup. And I could have sworn I saw something walk across there. Well, like a man walked across there. Yeah, I don't. Watch out your window, baby. That was a little unnerving. I can't just sit there and pretend I didn't see something. It looked like somebody striding across quickly.
Later, a small dog with a noticeable limp briefly appears behind their van. The animal looks directly toward them, almost as if seeking attention, before quickly disappearing again. According to the explorers, there are no clear places nearby where the dog could have hidden so quickly. As darkness deepens, the pair notice what appears to be a human-shaped figure walking across a clearing in the distance. The figure moves steadily, but remains too far away to identify clearly before disappearing back into the trees.
Sound like a little kid screaming. And that's disconcerting. You know, I wouldn't even know where to begin to go looking, or even if I should go looking for it. No. But it sounded for all the world like a 5 or 6 year old little kid screaming. And I didn't hear a word. It was just more like just a scream.
Later in the evening, eerie screams echo through the forest. The sounds resemble a child calling out, though they come from the same direction, where earlier, howling noises were heard. The unusual vocalizations leave both investigators visibly unsettled. As the evening progresses, the series of strange events begins to build tension, unexplained impacts, a strong odor drifting through the air, a limping dog appearing briefly, a distant figure crossing a clearing, and the unsettling screams echoing from the woods. Choosing caution, Rachel and Tommy eventually retreat to their van as darkness fully settles over the property. Reflecting on the experience, they remain uncertain about what caused the disturbances, but agree that the isolated forest holds a deeply unsettling atmosphere that left them feeling watched throughout the night. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these 6 spine-tingling encounters, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more chilling and terrifying videos. There's always another mystery waiting to be uncovered, and you won't want to miss what's next. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.